Hi all, very good morning. Welcome to Chandan English YouTube channel. This is Joshna. In this session, I am going to discuss about acids and bases. So this is a chemistry related topic. So in every exam, you can observe one question from this topic. So each and every student from starting to ending, please okay. So watch this session from starting to end so that you can get little knowledge regarding this chapter. Why? Because in each and every competitive exam, you can see one question from this chapter. Okay. So already I have started general science series in this Chandan Logics English YouTube channel. Okay. So once you go through the live session videos, okay, very good. So today I am going to discuss about acids and bases. So what are the strong acids? What are the weak acids? How the acids reactions will be there? So what happens to the acids when they react with the water? And what is washing soda? What are the use of washing soda? What is bleaching soda? So what are the use of bleaching soda? Okay, so here in this session I am going to discuss about all these important topics which are related to our SSC, RRB and other competitive exams. Okay, so each and every students, before starting the sessions, once all of you click the like button and do share this video to the maximum strength. Why? Because acids and bases, this chapter is very important in exam point of view. Okay, I think everybody will have some basic knowledge regarding this acids and bases. Okay, like basics means what? What is acid? Changing the color from blue litmus paper to red litmus paper. So what is base? Changing the color from red litmus paper to blue litmus paper. So we can say it is as a base. So base is also known as what, students? Base is also known as alkali. Okay. Base is also known as what? Alkali. So in this session we are trying to know in detail about each and every thing. Okay. So from starting to ending, all of you listen properly. Okay. And at the end of the session, I am going to display the questions related to this topic which I have explained. Okay. So first thing, acids. What do you mean by acids? Generally, we have two types of acids. So what are those two types of acid? Concentrated acid and dilute acid. So remember one thing, students. So in order to dilute acid, okay, remember one thing. In order to dilute acid, if we pour water into the acid, what happens? Okay, what happens there? Is it okay to pour water into acid? No, we should not dilute the acid by pouring water directly into the acid. So what we have to do? How can we dilute this acid? Okay, so the acid must be poured into the water to dilute that particular acid. But we should not pour water into the acid. So what happens if we pour water into the acid? There appears a burning sensation. Okay, the lid which we have poured water into the acid, it will break down. The glass in which we poured the water into the acid, that will be break down. Okay, so remember each and every students, we should not pour water into the acid. Okay, in order to dilute the acid, what we have to do? We have to pour acid into the water but not water into the acid. Remember this thing. So what happens if we pour water into the acid? The beaker in which the acid is present, it will break down due to the reaction present in the acid plus water. Okay, remember this thing point, this thing. And how many types of acids I have told you? Two types. Concentrated acids and dilute acid. Okay, so what is concentrated acid? What is dilute acid? In this session we are going to discuss it detail. Okay, like a concentrated acid has the least quantity of water in it. That means what? The acid, okay, the acid which is known as a concentrated acid means in that particular acid the water content will be very low. If the water content is very low in a given acid, so we can say that acid as a concentrated acid. So as I told just now, what is dilute acid? Okay, if we pour acid into the water but not water into the acid, if we pour acid into the water, then that type of acid is known as what? Dilute water. In dilute acid, the water content is more than acid content. Okay, that are the definitions of concentrated acid and like dilute acid. In concentrated acid, what happens? The water content will be low. In dilute acid, the water content will be high when compared to acid. Okay. So, these are regarding this concentrated and dilute acid. So, then next come dissolving acids or bases. So, what do you mean by dissolving acids or bases? So, just now I have told you. Okay, just now I have told you. What I have told you? Like if we pour water into the acid, so what happens? There appears a lot of heat energy will be released. Okay, when the water is poured into the acid, so that is nothing but it is exothermic process. Heat releases. Okay, when we pour water into the acid, especially which type of acid? Nitric acid and sulfuric acid. When we pour water into the nitric acid or sulfuric acid, so the beaker which the solution is present, it will breaks down. Okay, so that is what here they explain. Dissolving an acid or base in a water is a very exothermic process because this reaction generates a lot of heat. Okay, not only acid students, even the base also. In order to dilute the base or alkali, we have to pour alkali into the base but not water into the alkali. These two are cautious. Okay. So, what I have told, when mixing strong acids with water, particularly nitric or sulfuric acid, always put acid in water. Okay, what I have said, we have to pour acid into the water but not water into the acid. Okay, never the other way around. The acid must be slowly added to the water while swirling constantly. How we have to add the acid into the water? We have to swirl it properly such that the mixing will be properly mixed. Okay. So, next, when water is added to a concentrated acid. So, as I explained now, so what happens when the water is added to the concentrated acid? So, extra heat will be released and the beaker will break down. So, we should never mix the water into the acid. We have to mix water into the acid. So, that is they are explaining. Next. So, excessive local heating may potentially cause the glass container to break and cause harm. Okay, when an acid or base is mixed with water, it reduces the concentration of ions. So, this is what I have explained in this paragraph. Okay. So, next, bases. So, what do you mean by bases? Bases are nothing but, so as of our knowledge, bases are nothing but which converts red litmus paper to blue litmus paper. They release hydroxide ions. When comes to acid, they release hydrogen ions. Okay, this is what we know till now, but we do not know in detail. So, what are the properties, how they behave when they react with other compounds, we all do not know in detail. Okay, in this session we are going to discuss about this in detail. Okay, metal oxides and hydroxides are also known as what? Bases. So, just now I have told you now. So, these bases releases what? They release hydroxide ions. Nothing but metal oxides and hydroxides are considered as what? Bases or alkali. Bases are also known as what, students? Alkali. Very, very important. Okay, like sodium hydroxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, copper oxide, potassium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. These are all considered as what? Alkali or bases. Why? Because they consist of oxides and hydroxides. If any compound consists of oxides or hydroxide, so we have to say that oxides or hydroxide or bases or alkalis. Okay. Next. An alkali is a base that is soluble in water. So, what they are saying, an alkali is a base which can easily soluble in water. That means, if we pour sodium hydroxide into the water, it will be easily dissolved. Okay, what is alkali actually? An alkali is a base which dissolves easily in water. So, here are some of the reactions. Okay, when the alkali is reacted with water, so what happens? What type of ions will be released? So, here are some of the equations. Just look at them once. So, this is what, students? Sodium hydroxide. Okay, sodium hydroxide. So, when we in the decomposition process, what happens? When the sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water, so what type of ions will be released? sodium plus hydroxide ions. Okay, so this is nothing but what, students? This is a decomposition reaction. In the similar way, okay, so these are the sum of the reactions. These are the sum of the reactions of alkali bases. Sodium hydroxide gives us sodium ion plus hydroxide. So nothing but what I have told, students. So alkalis at last they will release hydroxide ions only. If you look at this equation, at the end of each equation, what you are observing? Hydroxide ion, hydroxide ion, hydroxide ion, hydroxide ion. Okay, so when the alkalis react with water or they resolve in water, so finally they gives us hydroxide ions or oxides. So this is what we have to know. When sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water, it gives us sodium and hydroxide ion. In the similar way, when potassium hydroxide dissolves in water, it gives us potassium and hydroxide ion. And in the same way, calcium hydroxide, when it is dissolved in water, it gives us calcium plus hydroxide. Okay, these are all the equations related to bases. Okay, so when we consider here, when we look at this, these two are considered as strong bases. These two are considered as strong bases, and below these two are considered as what? Weak bases. Okay, why? Because here when we observe, there is no number for these two. When we observe here, there is a numbering here. Okay, by this we can say that top two are said as strong bases and bottom two are weak bases. Okay, next, strong base. So this is what I have explained you. What is, just now I have explained you, right? So what is strong base? Strong base is nothing but the equation which are at the top of the. So just now I have told you these two equations are strong bases. Okay, why they are strong bases? Why? Because when a base is dissolved in water, the concentration of hydroxyl ions determines its strength. Okay, why? Because when this sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water, so what we are getting? We are only getting the hydroxyl ion. The concentration of hydroxyl ion is more in both the two equations. In 1-2 equation, when we observe the equation, only we are getting OH minus. That means it is a concentrated hydroxide ion. So that those two equations are considered as what? Strong bases. When we observe 3 and 4 equations, okay, so what we are seeing here? These two equations, okay, they appear as what? Very weak bases. Okay, next. Why? Because a weak base is one that only partially dissociate. So what is happening here? It is partially dissociating. Okay, next, reactions of bases and alkalis. So reactions of bases and alkalis. When the bases reacts with ammonium salts, so what we will get? When the acids reacts with some of the compounds, what we will get? So these are all the important equations which we have to remember in our examination. Why? Because in our examination, even these equations will be given, and they will ask which gas will be released at the end of the reaction. So each and every equation which I am displaying on the board is very, very important, students. So what happens if an alkali reacts with ammonium salts? Okay, if an alkali reacts with ammonium salts, so what gas will be emitted and what are the compounds we will get? So we have to know each and everything. Okay, so this is the action of alkalis or bases with ammonium salt. Alkalis combine with ammonium salt to liberate ammonia. So remember, students, this is very, very important point to be noted. When alkalis, so you all know what are alkalis? Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. These are all considered as what? Alkalis or bases. When these set of alkalis react with ammonium salts, when this set of alkalis react with ammonium salt, which gas is emitted? Finally, ammonia. Remember, very, very important. So these are the equations which are given in the reactions. So this is what? Calcium hydroxide. This calcium hydroxide is a alkali. So they are saying that calcium hydroxide is reacting with like ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is nothing but what, students? Ammonium chlorine is nothing but ammonium salt. Okay, so what I have said, students, when the alkalis are reacting with ammonium salts, which gas will be emitted? Finally, ammonia gas. So look at the equation. When calcium hydroxide is react with ammonium chloride is nothing but what? Ammonium salts. What we are getting? Calcium chloride plus water plus and finally ammonia. Okay, so this is what? What is this? This is like I have told you already, when bases react with ammonium salts, finally which gas is emitted? Ammonia is emitted. Remember this thing, very, very important. And the next thing, in the similar way, when sodium hydroxide reacts with ammonium sulfate, this is also an salt. So which gas will be released at the end of the reaction? In the same equation, the ammonia gas is released. So it gives us sodium sulfate plus water plus ammonia. So these equations are very, very important. The point to be remembered is when bases reacts with ammonium salts. What are the ammonium salts actually? It may be like ammonium chloride, it may be ammonium sulfate. These are all considered as what? Ammonium salt. So finally, which gas is emitted in this particular reaction? Ammonia gas is emitted. Okay? In the similar way, so I have explained about this formula in the first class of this session. Okay, in the first chemistry class, I have already explained about this pH value formula. Okay, what is pH actually? pH is nothing but what? Potential of hydrogen. It ranges between 0 to 14. If the pH is equal to 7, we say it as what? It is neutral. If the pH is less than 7, we say it as what? They are like acids. If the pH is greater than 7, we say it as what? Bases. In order to find the pH, in order to find the dilute pH of anything, we have a formula. Okay, I will explain you the procedure again once all of you look at that procedure. Okay, if in a question, a pH value is given. Listen properly, students. The thing which I am explaining now is very, very important. So why? Because this problem has been repeated many times. Okay, how the question will be? pH will be given. Okay, the pH is equal to 5. They will give the pH value. Okay, and they will say that if pH of certain acid or base, if the pH of certain acid or base is diluted, if the pH is diluted to like 1000 times, if the pH is diluted to 1000 times, then what is the new pH of that particular solution? What is the new pH value of that particular solution? If these type of questions are asked, how you will solve this type of questions, students? So first, what is H plus? Okay, H plus we have 10 minus pH. Okay, so you will get, so this is the formula actually. In order to find H plus ions, there exists a formula H power minus pH. So what is pH here? 10 power minus 5. So what they have said, the pH is diluted to 1000 times. That means 10 power minus 5 by 1000. That means this pH value is diluted to 10,000 times. That means we will get 10 power minus 8. And finally, we have a formula to find the pH of the diluted solution. Okay, pH of the diluted solution will be minus 10 power H plus. So what you will get, students? Minus 10 H plus means 10 power minus 8. And finally, what is the new pH? 8. 8 is nothing but what we have to say? If the pH value is 8, it is a base. Okay, it is a base. Here we have to find the pH of a particular solution. So this process is very, very important, students. Make a note of it, or you can screenshot of it. Or I have explained this topic many times in our previous sessions. Okay, next. Christmas offers are all going on. January 3rd is the last day to avail these offers. Special offers are also going on. 0 to Hero course is also available on our Chandan Logics app. Christmas and New Year offers are going on. Up to 60% discount is available on each and every course. SSC GD special batch complete course is also available on our Chandan Logics app. SSC exam complete course are also available on our Chandan Logics app with a huge discount up to 60% offers. Railway exams complete course is also available on our Chandan Logics app. Bank exams complete course is also available. Bank SSC RRB complete course is also available on our Chandan Logics app. APPSC, TGPSC, SI Constable courses are also available. Next, general properties of acids. So I have discussed what is acid, what is base, so how they react with ammonium salts, so what is pH, what are the pH values of acids, bases, and how pH value is neutral when pH is equal to 7. So these are all discussed here. So next thing, what are the properties of acids, what are the properties of bases? Okay, we will discuss in detail. So generally, how the taste of the acid will be? The taste of the acid will be sour. Okay, when the acid react with metals such as zinc, magnesium, etc., what they will liberate, students? They will liberate hydrogen gas. Okay, when the acids react with metals like zinc, magnesium, so what they will release, students? They will release hydrogen gas. For example, okay, zinc, when it reacts with acid, this is nothing but acid. So what you will get, students? Zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So just I am writing the equation, I am not balancing it. Okay, just I am writing the equation, I am not balancing it, students. So don't try to find out the mistake and poke me. Okay, just I am writing the equation without balancing. Okay, what is happening here? The first equation is that when the acid react with metals, they have said that hydrogen gas is emitted. So here it is proved. Why? Because when the zinc reacts with the hydrochloric acid is nothing but it is one of the strong acid. Okay, so what you will get, students? Zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Hence proved. Next. So as I told, so what, students? The acid changes the color of litmus from blue to red. And similarly, it conducts electricity. So as you all know that metals conducts electricity. Metals are the good conductors of electricity. Even water is also the good conductor of electricity also. So these are the properties of acid. So what are the properties of bases? Okay. So when we touch a base, we can sense it as a soapy feel. That means it will be slippery, soapy feel. In the similar way, it may also burn the skin. When we touch the base or alkali, it will burn our skin, and in the similar way, how it will sense as? It will sense as a soapy feel. Common examples are soaps and detergents. So commonly found in bases in laboratories and in our life are. So what are the common daily uses what are the daily used alkali or bases means? Like caustic soda, milk of magnesia, liquor ammonia, washing soda, toothpaste. So these are the common acids, common bases which we use in our daily life. Okay, so this may sometimes even burn our skin. Okay, very important, students. Next, am I audible and visible? Nobody is mentioning anything in the comment section. Please, any one of you confirm, am I audible and visible? Okay. Is anyone in the live session? Yes, Lakshmi. Yes. Okay. But you have to know the process, right? Sometimes they may ask the formula also. For that purpose, I have explained you in detail. Next. Chemical properties of acids. So just now I have explained you. So what I have explained you, when a metal reacts with acid, so what gas will be emitted? Yes, what gas will be emitted, students? Okay, it is useful for all the examinations, Shenmukh Sai. Why? Because in general science, chemistry point of view, if you look at any question paper, one question will be surely from these acids and bases. So for this purpose, I am only picking the concepts which are more number of times repeated. Okay. Yes. So just now I have told, okay, reaction with metals. For what I have told, when the acid reacts with metal, what gas will be released? Hydrogen gas. Hence proved. When acid reacts with the metal carbonates or bicarbonates, Okay, when acid reacts with metal carbonates or bicarbonates, what is released? So this is sodium carbonate, right? When sodium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, so what you will get? You will get, okay, sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide. So what we have to remember here? When a metal reacts with acids, which gas is released? Hydrogen gas. Each and every point is very, very important, students. Keep it in mind. When a metal reacts with acid, which gas is emitted? Hydrogen. When like carboxylates, carbonates are bicarbonates. When carbonates or bicarbonates reacts with acid, so which gas is evolved? Which gas is released? Carbon dioxide. Very, very important thing, students. Yes. Hi Sharanya, you became Queen Elizabeth. Already notification. Okay. So thing is that when the acid reacts with metals, hydrogen gas is released. When the acid reacts with bicarbonates or carbonates, carbon dioxide is evolved. Very, very important points to be noted. In the same way, when the acid reacts with bases, you all know what happens when acids reacts with bases? It neutralizes. So what is the example for this neutralization? Here is one of the example. When HCl plus NaOH gives us what? NaCl plus H2O. If in any equation there appears water, that equation is said to be what? Neutralized. Okay. So what they are saying, if acid reacts with the bases and finally what reaction will be there? Neutralization. Okay. HCl is a strong acid, NaOH it is a base. When these two are reacted, what you will get? NaCl, sodium chloride, and finally water. That means this is a neutralized reaction. Okay. Next, chemical properties of bases. As of now we have discussed. So how the acids, when the acid reacts with metal, they release hydrogen gas. When the acid reacts with bicarbonates or carbonates, they release carbon dioxide gas. When the acid reacts with bases, the equation becomes neutralized. So these are the three things we have to remember. And next, chemical properties of bases. Okay. When sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid, what happens? Nothing but neutralization. In the similar way, when aluminium reaction with metals, when the bases like sodium hydroxide reacts with some of the metals, so finally we will get the hydrogen gas only. Same thing, but the components are different. Okay, when the reaction of metals with bases happens, there also they release hydrogen gas only. In the similar way, when bases react with non-metal oxides, when bases react with non-metal oxides, what they will release? They will release salt and water. So this is very, very important. Okay, when the bases react with non-metal oxides. So what are these non-metal oxides actually? Like carbon dioxide. When the base react with the carbon dioxide, what you will get? We will get calcium carbonate with water, salt and water. This is very, very important thing to be noted. Okay, when the bases react with non-metal oxide, what you will get, students? You will get salt and water. So remember this point. Next, the reaction of acid with metals. So just now I have told, so these are the some of the equations which we have to remember. These are the some of the equations related to acids and bases. So in exam, okay, we will find these type of equations for sure. So each and every equation I am going to discuss in detail. And the first equation is when magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid. This is nothing but what? When acid reacts with, when an element reacts with acid, what you will get? Magnesium chloride plus what? Hydrogen gas. Nothing but reaction of metal with acid. So finally we have got hydrogen gas at the end of the reaction. In the similar way, when the zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid, zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So these are the same equations, students, nothing but reaction of acid with metals. Okay, but in some cases, what are some cases? Very active metals like potassium, sodium and calcium also react similarly but tend to explode when combined with acid. So did you understand what I said? So I said that like if any metal reacts with acid, they liberate hydrogen gas. But there are some metals like sodium, potassium and calcium. So they also react similarly and they will liberate hydrogen gas, but sometimes there is a chance of exploding. Okay, but sometimes there is a chance of explosion. Very, very important. Okay, next nitric acid usually has an oxidation rather than an acidic quality. So these are the like when metal reacts with the carbonates and metal bicarbonates. So here is the equation. Sodium carbonate plus hydrochloric acid gives us what? Sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. These are all the equations which I have explained in the previous slide itself. Okay, next. How do metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates react with acid? So these are all what I said. So reaction of bases with non-metal oxides gives us what? Salt and water. Remember this thing. So this is nothing but what? Stressing each and everything again and again. Okay. Next. Reaction with metal hydrogen carbonates. Nothing but bicarbonate. So what you will get, students? When sodium bicarbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, what you will get? Sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So these are all nothing but I will explain in simple. Okay, so acid plus metal. So note it down, students. Acid plus metal gives us hydrogen. Acid plus base, it is neutralized. That means we will get H2O. And finally, acid plus carbonate or bicarbonate. It will liberate CO2. Okay. In a similar way, base plus metal gives us H2O. Base plus non-metal, it gives us salt plus water. Very, very important thing to be noted. Okay. Note it down, students. So no need of explaining all these equations. If you know this particular tricks like acid plus metal, it liberates hydrogen gas. You can easily answer to any type of question. Okay. Next. Neutralization reaction, just now I have told you. Okay, what is this neutralization reaction? When sodium chloride reacts with, when zinc chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide, what you will get? Sodium chloride and water. Okay, so that is nothing but it is a neutralized equation. So this is what? Acid plus gives us salt plus water. In the similar way, hydrochloric acid plus sodium carbonate gives us NaCl plus H2O. This is the neutralization reaction. Okay, next. These are all equations which are repeated again and again, students. Okay, next. Applications. So what are the applications? First one is lime water test. This reaction is used to detect the presence of carbon dioxide by the formation of a white precipitate in lime water. Okay, how to find? So there are some tests. Okay, there are some tests, students. So if any solution, if we want to know is there any carbon dioxide in that particular solution, how can we know that? By doing lime water test. Remember, students, very, very important. So there is a particular solution. In that particular solution, we have to know whether carbon dioxide gas is there or not. Okay, how can we know that? By doing lime water test. Okay, if in a particular solution, if there is carbon dioxide, so what appears there? There appears a white precipitate in lime water. Remember this lime water test, students, very, very important. Okay, so next, we all know that. So what are the common properties of acids? So finally, acid release hydrogen ions. We all know very well, and bases release hydroxide ions. Okay. Next, common properties of bases. So bases releases what? Hydroxide ions, and acids releases what? Hydrogen ions. Next, what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution? As you all know, so what happens when an acid or a base is dissolved in water? It undergoes a process called ionization, which involves the release of ions. Here what happens to each other? Okay, so what happens, friends? I have told you already, when the acid reacts with bases, what happens? It becomes neutralized. Okay, yes, very good. So these are all not that important. These are all the which are sodium chloride. Here comes some of the important acids and bases, their uses. Okay, some of the acids, bases and uses. Why I have skipped all those slides means, why? Because what I have explained in the previous slides, those are repeated again and again. In detail they are repeated. That's why I have skipped these slides. Okay. So what is the, if you need to study it, you can pause the session and you can read it after the end of the session. Why? Because they are repeated again and again. In the starting session they have explained briefly, and in the next session, next slides they have discussed in detail. So actually I have given the information which you need. Okay, and here what's important sodium chloride, washing soda. So I am now going to explain in detail about these things. Sodium chloride. So what is the formula for sodium chloride? Actually NaCl. Okay, so sodium chloride is also considered as common salt, table salt. Okay, and sometimes what you call the aqueous solution of NaCl, brine solution. Okay, these are the common names of this sodium chloride. So how you will use this common salt as? It is mostly widely used as a table salt. The thing which we consume every day in our curries or in our daily cooking. So that is nothing but what? This table salt or sodium chloride. Okay, the most common soluble salt in sea water is sodium chloride. Why? Because this sodium chloride easily dissolves in water. For these purposes, for cooking purposes, most of the salt we use is what? This sodium chloride only. Why? Because it has a very dissolving property. Next, it is also used as a preservative for fish, meat, butter. Okay, sodium hydroxide. Next comes sodium hydroxide. So what are the uses of this sodium chloride, students? Remember students, each and every students, what I have explaining now is very, very important. I am stressing the things which are most important to you only. I am not wasting your time. Okay, so am I audible and visible? Please, any one of you confirm in the session. Why? Because I am not getting any messages. So I am in dilemma whether you are in the live or you have left. Come on students, please let me know you are in the live session or you. And am I audible and visible? Any one of you confirm? And now I am going to discuss about the important chemicals and what are the uses. So as of now, just sodium chloride I have explained. Yes, sodium chloride, it is also known as common salt. It is also known as table salt. Okay, in general, the property of this sodium chloride, it can easily dissolve in water. For this purpose, it is used mostly in a cooking purposes. And also, it is used as a preservative to store fish, meat, butter, etc. Okay, done students, done. And next, sodium hydroxide. Next comes sodium hydroxide. So because of its corrosive effect on animal and vegetable tissues, sodium hydroxide is usually referred to as caustic soda. Okay, sodium hydroxide, it is also known as what, students? Caustic soda. Okay, the electrolytic process is known as chlor-alkali process. It is used to produce large amounts of sodium hydroxide. Okay, so how you will get this sodium hydroxide? The electrolysis process, chlor-alkali process gives us like what? Sodium hydroxide. Okay, it has a corrosive effect. It has a corrosive property. Okay, next. Properties. So what are the properties of this sodium hydroxide? Okay, I have just explained what is sodium hydroxide. It is also known as caustic soda. So what are the properties and what are the uses of this caustic soda is very, very important. Okay, each and every students, so all of you listen properly students, the things which I am explaining now is very, very important. Okay, sodium hydroxide is a white deliquescent solid having melting point at 591 Kelvin or 318 degrees centigrade. So imagine students, the sodium hydroxide, even we give a lot of temperature, it cannot be heated. When it is reaches to 318 degrees centigrade, the sodium hydroxide gets heating. Did you understand what I said? The melting point of sodium hydroxide is approximately 318 degrees centigrade. That means till 318 degrees centigrade, even if we heat the sodium hydroxide, there will not be any effect to that particular compound. Okay, so what is the melting point of sodium hydroxide? 318 degrees centigrade. It appears as a white deliquescent liquid. Okay, and it is also highly soluble in water, and the amount of heat is evolved with the formation of a number of hydrates. Example, NaOH, H2O, NaOH, 2HO. So it is soluble in water and it is also soluble in alcohol. So each and every students, listen properly students, sodium hydroxide, it is soluble in water, it is soluble in alcohol also. So this sodium hydroxide releases lot of heat. Okay, it releases a lot of heat. Next, aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide is strongly alkali due to its complete dissociation into Na plus and OH minus. So we have already discussed about this. This is a strong base. Okay, we have already discussed in the beginning of the session itself. So what are the uses of this sodium hydroxide? This sodium hydroxide, it is used as a soap for making papers, for fake silk and for organic dyes, dye suits, and a variety of other components are made with. So the soaps which we are using daily are made with this sodium hydroxide. Okay, and in the petroleum, in the vegetable oil, refining vegetables, in the purification of bauxite for aluminium extraction. So here are some of the uses of this sodium hydroxide, very, very important. So where we will use this? In making soaps, in making papers, in making artificial silk, in refining petroleum, in extracting aluminium from bauxite, this sodium hydroxide is used. Okay, and also as a cleaning agent in the machine, metal sheet and other laundry purposes. Okay, yes. Next comes bleaching powder. Okay, what is the chemical name of bleaching powder, students? What is the chemical name? Calcium hypochlorite. Okay, calcium hypochlorite is the chemical name of this bleaching powder. So for what purpose we will use this bleaching powder? As a disinfectant. Okay, in order to treat the water against microbes, we will use this bleaching soda. It will treat the water very well. It will avoid the disinfectants. It will remove the infectants. Bleaching powder is a chemical compound with the formula calcium hypochlorite. It is commonly used for various purposes like disinfection. So it is used to disinfect drinking water and sanitize swimming pools. So where you will use this bleaching soda? We will use bleaching soda in swimming pools to sanitize it, in drinking water to kill the infections pathogens. Okay. Bleaching agent employed in the bleaching of cotton and linen in the textile industry, as well as in the bleaching of wood pulp in the paper industry. So not only in our swimming pools, drinking water, this bleaching agent is also used in wood industries and textile industries also. Okay, next, baking soda. This baking soda is known as what? Sodium bicarbonate. Okay, baking soda is known as what? Sodium bicarbonate. It is also known as what, students? Cooking soda. Baking soda is also known as cooking soda. In chemical formula is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, next, it is used as a leavening agent in baking to help the dough rise. So you all know how to make a chapati. At first we have to prepare a dough. So for that purpose, or to prepare a idli batter, this baking soda must be added. Okay. like it is also used as a antacid. Okay, like if we eat like idli or something like dosha, vada, so what we will add, baking soda will be added. Why? Because it acts as a antacid. Okay, yes. It neutralizes stomach acid, providing relief from indigestion and heartburn. So it is also used for cleaning, used as a mild abrasive and deodorizer in household cleaning. So for sometimes when our stove is like dirty, when our gas stove is very dirty, if we pour this washing soda, when we pour this baking soda, we can easily clean that particular stains. So it is also used as a cleaning agent. Okay, in the similar way, it is also used in the fire extinguishers. Why? Because as I told you already, okay, when the bases react with sodium hydroxide, is nothing but it is a base. When the bases react with the carbohydrates, what gas will be released? Carbon dioxide gas will be released. For this purpose, this sodium bicarbonate is baking soda is also used as what? Fire extinguisher. Why? Because at the end of the reaction, it releases carbon dioxide gas. Okay, next, washing soda. So washing soda, it is also known as what? Sodium carbonate. It is used in several applications, for laundry, as a cleaning agent, for glass manufacturing, and for the pH adjustment. Okay, how this is used? How this washing soda? This washing soda, chemically we say it as what? Calcium carbonate. It is used for laundry purpose. It is used as a cleaning agent. It is used in glass manufacturing industries. It is also used as a pH adjustment. Very important. Next comes plaster of Paris. Okay, plaster of Paris. So generally plaster of Paris, where we will use it? We will use it in many things, like in dentistry, and in the similar way, whenever like a bone is broken, the thing which is wrapped around our hand is nothing but it is made up of plaster of Paris. Okay, so what is the formula for the plaster of Paris? CaSO4 half H2O. That is nothing but it is calcium sulfate with a half molecule of water per molecule of salt, hemihydrate. Okay, it is nothing but half water molecule per half salt molecule. That is plaster of Paris. Okay, next. Properties. So what are the properties of plaster of Paris? It is a powder that's white in color. We all know how the plaster of Paris will be. Plaster of Paris will be white in color. So we can see it in many things, like in dentistry, in wrapping our broken, if our bone is broken, they will wrap with a plaster of Paris. So those are some of the applications of this plaster of Paris. Okay, so plaster of Paris, gypsum orthoambic dihydrate. So when plaster of Paris react with water, so what you will get, students? We will get gypsum. When a plaster of Paris react with water, we will get gypsum. Okay, this is very important. Next, what are the uses of this plaster of Paris? It is used for sculptures in dentistry or surgical instruments, for toys, etc. In surgery, for setting broken or shattered bones. Okay, the thing which will be wrapped if our bone is fractured, that is nothing but what? Plaster of Paris. In the creation of blackboard chalks, even in the creation of blackboard charts, that chalk pieces are made up of this plaster of Paris. Some of the chalk pieces. Okay, next, in the construction field. So here comes the MCQs. So till now I have explained what is what. Till now, who had listened with concentration, they can answer to the question which I am going to display in the comment section. Okay, so first question, which of the following is the correct practice when diluting a concentrated acid? So remember, each and every question is very important. Even I am going to display the question, and even I am going to explain the question and the answer again in detail. Okay, add water to the acid slowly. Add acid to water slowly with constant stirring. Mix acid and water in equal volumes quickly. Add water to the acid rapidly. So tell me, students, at the beginning of the session I have told you, we should not mix or we should not pour acid into the water. So no, sorry, we should not pour water into the acid. How can we dilute it? We have to dilute the like a concentrated acid by pouring acid into the water. So I have explained you already. So what is the answer for this question? Add acid to water slowly with a constant stirring. Very good. I think all listen properly. Very good, students. Very good. Okay. So remember, so now or anytime we should not pour water into the acid. So what happens when we pour water into the acid? So explosion will be there. Okay. Why? Because the acid easily react with like what? Water, and explosion, there occurs an explosion. Okay. Next. Which of the following is an alkali? Copper oxide, magnesium oxide, like sodium hydroxide, carbon dioxide. I have told you already what are acids and what are bases. Bases are also known as what, students? Alkalis. In the given options, which are considered as alkali? Alkali is nothing but base. I have told you many times. Yes, I have told you many times. Okay, acid releases hydroxide ions and bases release, acid releases hydrogen ions and bases release hydroxide ions. Very good, students, very good. Okay, next. A strong base dissociates in water to produce low concentration of hydroxide ions, high concentration of hydroxide ions, no OH ions, only Na plus ions. So I have already discussed you. NaOH gives us what? Na plus OH minus. This is a strong base. That means the concentration of the base is high. So tell me, students, what is the answer for this question? Yes, very good. High concentration of OH minus. In the similar way, if a calcium hydroxide, what it gives? It gives Ca plus 2OH minus. The concentration of OH is like what? Shade, but this is not a strong base, it is a weak base. Okay, next. The pH value of a neutral solution is 0, 7, 14, 10. I have discussed in the beginning of the session only what is pH, potential of hydrogen. So it ranges from 0 to 14. If the pH is less than 7, we say it as what, students? Like acid. So if the pH is between 0 to like 1, it is strong acid. If it is between 3 to 6, it is weak acid. And in the similar way, if the pH is equal to 7, it is a neutral. And if the pH is greater than 7, we say it as what? Base. What is weak base? Weak base means, what is strong base? Weak base. Weak base means nothing but 8 to 11. And a strong base is nothing but what, students? 11 to 14. Okay. So what is the answer for this question? The pH value of a neutral solution is 7. Very good. When an acid reacts with a metal carbonate, the products formed are. So tell me, students, who are going to give answer for this question. So I have already told you what they are asking is, when acid is reacting with a carbonate, acid is reacting with carbonate or bicarbonate. So what you will get? Which gas is released? So if you know the gas which is released, so you can easily answer to this question. I have already told you. Very good. When acid reacts with a metal, it gives us hydrogen gas. When acid reacts with carbohydrate or bicarbonates, it will give us carbon dioxide gas. If we know this particular trick, you can easily answer anything. So what is the answer, students? Very good. Okay. In the similar way, if the base reacts with like non-metal oxides, so what they will release? They will release salt plus water. Okay. So this is the thing which we have to remember. Next. The reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water is called displacement reaction, neutralization reaction, decomposition reaction, combination reaction. They have said that an acid is reacted with NaOH. So what you will get? So tell me, students, acid reacts with base. HCl is nothing but it is a strong acid, and NaOH is nothing but it is a strong base. Okay, so what happens here? You will get NaCl plus H2O. That is nothing but it is neutralized. Neutralization reaction. Very good. Next, when gas is liberated, when alkalis react with ammonium salt, this is important thing. So tell me students, who is going to give answer for this question? Alkalis are nothing but what? Bases. When bases are reacted with ammonium salts means what are those? Like ammonium chloride. Ammonium salts means what? Ammonium chloride. Okay, when base react with ammonium chloride, what you will get? Base is nothing but NaOH. When NaOH reacts with NH4Cl. So what gas is released, students? Tell me. NaCl plus H2O plus NH3. So tell me which gas is released? Ammonia. Very important. So this is very important. So again and again I am saying, students, I am not balancing the equation. So in order to make you understandable, I am just writing without balancing it. Okay. Next. All acids have in common they release dash ions when dissolved in water. Okay. Nothing but acid. When acid dissolves in water, what they will give us? Everybody can answer this. So tell me, students, when acid dissolve in water, they will release what ions? When base is dissolved in water, they give us hydroxide ions. So what is the answer, students? Hydrogen ions. Very good. I think everybody knows this chapter very well. You are answering very well. Very good, very good. Yes. Which of the following is a strong acid? Acetic acid, carbonic acid, hydrochloric acid, citric acid. So do you know what? Hydrochloric acid, it is present in our stomach. Okay. So what happens? What is the pH value of this hydrochloric acid? It ranges between 1.5 to 3. That means it is a strong acid. So what is the answer for this question, students? Yes, in the evening session, we are going to discuss Mauryan Empire in a very interesting story way. Okay, each and every student, the students who are in this live, so they can attend in the evening session in Chandan Telugu YouTube channel. Very good. Hydrochloric acid. Plaster of Paris is chemically CaSO4 2H2, CaSO4 half H2O, CaSO4 Na2CO3 H10HO. Plaster of Paris. Okay, when the plaster of Paris is reacted with water, what you will get? Gypsum. So tell me, students, what is the answer for this question? Very good. Okay. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year offers are going on. You can get any single course at the rate of just 399 rupees. 0 to Hero course offers are also available on our Chandan Logics app. A huge discount is provided in this offers in Christmas and New Year's. Christmas and New Year's offers are also applicable on RRB, NTPC. SSC GD special batch course is also available on our Chandan Logics app. SSC exam complete exams are also available on offers. Up to 60% is available. January 3rd is the last date to avail this offers. Bank exams complete courses are also available on offers. Yeah, thank you. Wish you the same, students. So we shall meet in the evening session, right? Railway exams complete courses are also available on app offers. Banking, SSC and RRB combo courses are also available on offers. APPSC, TGPSC, essay Constable courses are also available on offers. APPSC, TGPSC Group 2 courses are also available. APPSC, TGPSC Special Batch Complete courses are also available on offers. UPSC, CSAT Complete courses are also available. Single subject courses are also available. So each and every course, okay, all are on offers. January 3rd is the last day to avail this offer. So everybody who are preparing well for SSC, GD, RRB, Group D and all other examination. So this is the very good opportunity to avail this wonderful offers. Okay, so we are conducting live sessions on Chandan Logics Telugu, Chandan Logics English and Chandan Logics main channel. So in the upcoming days, we are not even giving a single hour leisure. So in each and hour we are going to conduct live sessions. So everybody please subscribe to those 3 channels. So if there is any live session, you will get a notification. Okay. In the evening session, I am going to explain Indian history 6th topic, Mauryan Empire. So we shall meet there. Bye students, take care.